Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Cult Classic Podcast. Cameron Jones here, along with my co-host,
Jordan Jones.
We're on to the second one. Should be no surprises here. We're moving on to The Dark Knight.
Batman Returns. What?
What?
Oh, I did the wrong second one, but I think it should mesh.
Christopher Nolan's 2008, The Dark Knight. 1 year after Bruce Wayne unleashes Batman on Gotham City, he continues trying to clean up the criminal underworld with the help of District Attorney Harvey Dent as well as Lieutenant Gordon, when a new villain, the Joker, makes a proposition to the mob underworld to kill the Batman. The city of Gotham is once again plunged into chaos as villains become emboldened by the Caped Crusaders' theatrics. Will Bruce be able to save his beloved city, or will it be torn apart by a madman? The Dark Knight.
He couldn't save Rachel. Could he?
Directed by Christopher Nolan. Starring Christian Bale, Heath Ledger, Aaron Eckhart, Michael Caine, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Gary Oldman, and Morgan Freeman.
It's one of the best character villains of all time, if not characters, in the last, 40 years?
Yeah, it's Batman Begins, but better. The best of all three movies, arguably, but not too arguably. I think most people would say that. The Dark Knight. Cast and crew. This should be familiar, so we might go a little fast through this one for more information. I mean, see, Batman Begins, the movie we did before this. But once again, directed and written by Christopher Nolan, also written by Jonathan Nolan, his brother. Was there anything else he did in between this and Batman Begins? There was something.
Just the Prestige, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, just that great movie. Also with Christian Bale and Michael Caine. I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah, it's got his crew. It's a really good movie. I mean,
it's a great movie.
Will I rewatch it? I don't know. It would be on the Mount Rushmore of two movies that are the exact same, made at the same time.
Yeah.
Got this, Paul Barbaugh, whatever. We've done this a million times, but that's definitely on there. Who thought you need two early 1900s, late 1800s magician movies?
Hey, I did. I've been saying it for years. We also, once again, have Christian Bale. You should know who he is by now because he's a megastar, but I mean, again, go see the first episode, but the Newsies.
Hey, I'm going to say it again here because I've really thought about this since last week.
Mm-hmm.
Ford versus Ferrari is a really good movie.
It's a great movie. Ford versus Ferrari, American Psycho, American Hustle. I mean, just a bunch of. He was in one of the Marvel movies. He's been in.
You know what's a movie? It's weird though. Between this, he did some of those. What's that dragon movie or whatever? Courage Under Fire.
Reign of Fire. But that was way before this with Matthew McConaughey.
No, I'm just saying. Before this, there was some kind of in between. Which way is it gonna go? And then he became like a really good dramatic actor.
Mm-hmm.
But during that early 20s something stage, he was kind of in flux.
We have Heath Ledger playing the Joker. Maybe someone we didn't think would become such a serious actor after things such as 10 Things I Hate About You.
Go back and listen to our 10 Things I Hate About You. Did we do Knight's Tale?
I think we've talked about it a bunch. I don't know if we've done it, but A Knight's Tale might be my number 2 favorite movie from him, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very enjoyable.
I'm trying to think. Well, the thing that happened with him is he passed away so young that, there's only really 10 movies he's in, right? It's not like an absurd amount.
Great ones.
I can tell you my least favorite.
He was somewhat of a child actor. I mean, go back and see The Patriot. He plays Gabriel. Brokeback Mountain 2005 is kind of when he started really getting acclaim, maybe more notoriety for his acting.
Well, I believe after Knight's Tale, he made a conscious effort. We'd probably talked about this on The Patriot and didn't do a movie for a few years to kind of reframe him as a serious actor, and did The Patriot, which I still love. I'll tell you what was a big miss for me, and it was a lot of expectation management. Kind of came out just before this. The Brothers Grimm really did me wrong. I don't know what it was maybe my fault. It was my fault, and I apologize.
I mean, listeners of the podcast should know. It's come up many times, but it's not that bad. I watched it recently. Also, Monuments Men watched it. You talked it so bad that wasn't terrible for me. Wasn't terrible.
Didn't hit for me. I had such high expectations.
We have Aaron Eckhart playing Harvey Dent. Before this, I only knew him from Thank You for Smoking, if you haven't seen that. 2005 film, pretty funny. He's also known for Rabbit Hole, In the Company of Men. He kind of recently, I feel like, been doing a lot of military-ish roles. But I mean,
he's got a square jaw.
Yeah, he has a very square face, so I get it. Yeah. London Has Fallen. He's the president in those, I believe.
I will say this: when I see him in something, I like him.
Yeah, he's charming and nice. I don't know if he's always the best actor, but he's likable.
Thank You for Smoking's an entertaining movie, and oddly enough, own it on DVD.
Oh, nice.
I
thought I used to.
It was during the time when I bought DVDs, and that came out, and I was buying them.
We have, once again, Michael Caine playing Alfred. Go back and see our Muppet Christmas Carol. We keep talking about The Prestige, the Cider House Rules.
Go back and watch listen to our Miscongeniality.
I don't remember if we've done the Austin Powers movies, but Austin Powers 3, he's hilarious in that.
We'd like to, but you get it. It's just too many jokes.
Yeah, you don't want us just quoting a bunch.
It's just going to turn into Chris Farley's like, you remember when this happened? And that's maybe what our podcast already is, but why throw gasoline onto the fire? You know what I mean?
We have Maggie Gyllenhaal playing Rachel. We had a recasting in this one, interestingly enough. You might know her from Crazy Heart, Frank, or The Secretary.
I've watched Crazy Heart a bunch, and I've got like 4 of those songs on it. I really like that movie. That's what if he didn't kill himself in A Star Is Born, that's what would end up happening. Just be in his 60s and an alcoholic, and a has been. But I also one of my favorite movies, or one movie I really really enjoyed that has Maggie Gyllenhaal in it, is Stranger Than Fiction.
Yeah, you sure do love that movie.
Go back and watch that. It's whimsical. It's good. It's creative. It's fun. It's got a good, strong cast. It's got Emma Thompson, Will Ferrell, and Dustin Hoffman.
I'll give it another go. She's, of course, sister to Jake Gyllenhaal and the daughter of screenwriter and producer Naomi Fauner and director Stephen Gyllenhaal. Comes from a movie family. Gary Oldman is playing Officer Gordon.
If I were to guess what Gary Oldman movie we do next, it'd probably be a Harry Potter. But take away Harry Potter, it might be Air Force One.
Oh, yeah. Have we not? No, we haven't. Maybe we have.
No.
Check that out.
I think we've said Get Off Our Plane a bunch. Maybe that's good enough.
Tinker Tailor, Soldier Spy, The Darkest Hour. Oh, you know what? For Halloween, we might eventually do Bram Stoker's Dracula. That also has Keanu in it, so I could see that hitting a couple fancies for us, you know?
Yeah, but we don't want to do Keanu dirty like that. We're here to celebrate, not drag down.
But you know Gary Oldman is Sirius Black,
sure.
JFK. I think last but not least, we're just going to do Morgan Freeman as Lucius Fox. Shawshank Redemption, Driving Miss Daisy, Seven, Bruce Almighty. I don't know. You know who Morgan Freeman is. You don't know. We don't need to go.
If you listen to movie podcasts, you got it.
And more importantly, just go back and see the first episode. We'll have a little more detail for some of you. But that's probably good enough for this. Let's move it on to Unverified. Unverified. Welcome to the Cold Classic Movie Phone. It's July 18th, 2008, and currently in theaters you could have seen Hancock with Will Smith, Jason Bateman, and Charlize Theron. It's not a bad movie. It's
Can
not
I say
great.
This? Concept, superhero that's drunk and doesn't want to do it, great.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit Deadpool in some capacity.
Yeah.
But that whole fallen angel, Charlize Theron, like love interest.
Yeah, it got a little weird.
It's two halves of a movie. Conceptually, I like it.
The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor with Brendan Fraser and Jet Li.
It's number 3, guys. And
yeah, didn't hit, but it was kind of the last movie Fraser had before he disappeared. But
The Whale.
I believe he had like a back injury from that, but I don't remember it. Maybe I'll give it another go. I'm sure he
was in that Land of the Lost around this time as well. That was kind of on the downfall, right?
Journey to the Center of the Earth with Brendan Fraser. Also this month.
Apologies. Journey to the Center of the Earth, you know?
I believe The Rock took over the franchise. I think I was working at the theater when this came out, I believe, because I also saw Hancock. Mamma Mia with Amanda Seyfried and Meryl Streep. I don't hate it. I've seen it a few times.
I don't know if I've seen it. I've seen bits of it, I think.
Step Brothers with Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. A movie I didn't love at first, but grew on me, and it does have a lot of good quotes.
Yeah, that one actually was a slow build for me. First time, I got the funny parts, but I didn't get how funny it was, and it definitely grew on me.
What's his name? Scott, whatever. The stepbrother in that.
Adam Scott.
Adam Scott, and that is hilarious. It's maybe the funniest he ever is. Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, with Ron Perlman, Selma Blair, and Doug Jones.
I got no skin in the game, but it seems like they've never gotten it right.
The first two were fine, kind of. They were okay.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't hate them. I liked the first one better, I think. Lost Boys, The Tribe. So, just a sequel, just a random, but I think Corey Feldman's in that one, though.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Too bad.
Swing Vote with Kevin Costner. This was kind of before his comeback. This was just like a random movie in there.
He actually made like a string of movies around here that nobody saw. I remember Mr. Brooks was one of them with Dane Cook.
Yep.
He made some movie where he was like, it was like the Coast Guard with Ashton Kutcher, and then he was kind of a ghost at the end of it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And then like 2 more action movies. I don't know. Oh, some really weird. God, why am I doing this? Is this brag? This feels like a problem. I think it's because I was working at the movie theater. There's something called like, it's not Mr. Robinson, but he like dates Jennifer Aniston and he's the real life. The book, the movie The Graduate is based off him and then her mom. Gotcha. So that's a movie.
Okay, cool. But you chose The Dark Knight. Do you have the budget on this one? I'm sure it did great.
Yeah, I have the budget, but my box office is kind of all over the place.
Okay.
So the budget was 185 million. And I think to date, the box office has made 1.6 billion.
Okay.
Or about 1 billion. But I don't know, like,
which is crazy.
When that stopped.
Just off of this also, obviously it made more money than Batman Begins. Its entire domestic run in only 6 days of its release, but this was the first comic book movie to reach the 1 billion mark worldwide. Obviously, the Marvel movies
wouldn't be the last.
No, took over, but for a second, this was like the biggest thing since, sliced bread.
Yeah, it's weird to say, but and this is no insult, they don't feel like comic book movies. They feel like movies. Yeah. That the source material is comic books.
Yeah,
Does
I agree.
That make sense? Yeah.
We had a fun fact in the last episode about the Batmobile scaring citizens. Again, on this one, while filming a chase scene on Lake Street, the Chicago Police Department received several calls from concerned citizens stating that the police were involved in a vehicle pursuit with a dark vehicle of unknown make or model. So it got a bunch of calls in again, but this time people didn't think it was a UFO.
If you see something, say something, right? Also, if you're really scared, you're like, I'll call the cops, and hopefully that thing doesn't terrorize my neighborhood.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Christopher Nolan was introduced to Heath Ledger in the initial auditioning process to play Batman in The Batman Begins, but Heath Ledger wasn't interested in it. So Christopher Nolan said, "Oh, well, we had the meeting. I'd love to work with him, but it probably won't work out." And then Heath Ledger, after seeing the script to this, The Dark Knight, reached out to Christopher Nolan's like, I want to play the Joker, and I've got a great idea how to do it. And that's how that happened.
We did not mention it last week, but he was one of the possible recasting options. There were a ton of them, and we will go through it at the last movie. But we will have some just Heath Ledger lore here, obviously. It was his last movie. His family has had some clarification. A lot of people think that it was kind of this role that caused a decline in his mental state, but they've stated that he enjoyed filming The Dark Knight. He had a blast, but he had a long history of using sleeping pills and other prescription drugs that could have been a harmful mix, and they warned him.
To me, it seems like he probably was just a casual drug user, and he took the wrong cocktail, and it killed him.
Yeah. Right? Well, it seems more like sleeping pills and things, too, is what got him, kind of. But
like he had an addiction? Well, we don't have to speculate here, but like it doesn't seem like the role drove him to
No, it's in fact, Aaron Eckhart has a famous quote where he's, the scene in the hospital where he has his face burnt and the Joker's there kind of giving him his monologue and getting him to turn the evil side. Well, before that, when he's just muttering and pacing, that was all just improvised. Heath Ledger was just in character and he was just muttering. And then when he charged Aaron Eckhart, he instinctively just like working off of him, like kind of tried to punch him and got grabbed. And then when Heath Ledger backed away, he broke character finally to say, "Yeah, that's fucking acting, man." So it seems,
I don't know if he's a method actor. I don't know if he's a method actor, but from what I understand, he stayed in character, not like necessarily acting like the Joker, but to keep the voice and stuff like that, to stay in the mode, he stayed in character like that.
Just a little more on it. In preparation for the role, Heath Ledger hid away in a motel for about 6 weeks, during which he did an extended delve into the psychology of the character. He was devoting it to every tick, the laugh. His main thing was just, not wanting to betray Jack Nicholson's 1989 performance. He wanted it to take more of a punk rocker, Sid Vicious, Malcolm McDowell characteristic from A Clockwork Orange.
I've seen most of the Kubricks, but just for whatever reason, I've been putting that one off. I don't know why.
Another just fun thing about his portrayal of the Joker in the documentary, I Am Heath Ledger, his vocal coach, Gary Grinnell, said that he had to continuously lick his lips because the prosthetic kept wearing off when he spoke. So he just ended up incorporating that into his performance. That's why he has the lick thing.
Oh,
it was really just because
cool.
the prosthetics kept falling off and he was fixing them.
Nice.
Seems like they should have had better prosthetics to fix that with their budget and the scope of this movie.
I can't imagine the licking would help it, but maybe they fixed it. He's like, I got this thing I'm going to do.
I've started licking already.
You're going to like it.
We talked about the infamous Christian Bale growl increasing in this movie. Contrary to popular belief, it's not just him doing it, though. He had a much more toned down version during filming, but in post-production, they made it a little grittier and roughed it up, and they added effects to it.
Oh,
so
rubs some people the wrong way, but it doesn't bother me that much.
I remember when we saw Batman Begins, we both commented like it would have been nice to hear the Batman theme at least once, and I believe you don't hear it in Batman Begins, but the theme is heard twice in this movie, and it was meant kind of like for foreshadowing, but I can't exactly remember hearing it.
Yeah, it doesn't really stand out.
We talked about this in the first movie as well, that before shooting, Christopher Nolan showed the cast of the movie Blade Runner to say, this is how we're going to make Batman. The first 4 days of shooting, Christopher Nolan took everyone to a theater where he showed them Heat, 1995, Cat People, 1942, Citizen Kane, 1941, King Kong, 1933, his movie Batman Begins, 2005, Black Sunday, 1977, A Clockwork Orange, 1971, and Stalag 17, 1953.
Well, that's fun. Yeah. And I think that comes across here.
What are we thinking? About 2 movies a day? Yeah, that breaks up nicely.
Yeah, it depends how much Christopher Nolan talks about him.
I could see 1 or 2 of those being like, stylistically, we're going for this, but it seems like he wanted to have some fun movie days.
Yeah, it seems like a chemistry building thing, a workout in, if you will.
Also similar to the first movie, Christopher Nolan oversaw every shot and there was no second unit. With exception, though, Heath Ledger, all the ransom videos he made were directed and made by him.
Oh, I think I hope to remember to talk about those. Well, I'll just say it now. Those really are
scary.
Scary. Yeah. They're scary. They're really creepy. I don't like them. They're very frightening.
Yeah, I have more to say on that later.
Okay.
What do you think of this? In one reference of the script, they were going to have Robin being related to Rachel Dawes, and maybe that was how they were going to link it into the third movie, but Christopher Nolan didn't want to get tied into that plot line and then have people's expectations. And then, ironically, he did just do it anyway.
Yeah, but I don't think you needed to tie it to another character,
No, especially if she's like a make-believe character anyway, and he has his own lore, just like, why mess with it?
No, I think you're good. Because then you would have to write a bunch more. Hey, it's Rachel and Dick. They're here.
The last fact...
And that's not being mad. His name's Dick Grayson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the last one I have, but this was the comic book movie with the most Academy Award nominations with 8 before, funny enough, being beaten by the Joker with 11. It's just this character, man. People like
obviously Heath Ledger won posthumously for Best Supporting Actor.
This was his last movie, but after his death, it wasn't finished, but they did release the ingenious. Oh, what is it?
It's like Mr. Cornelius, the Genius of the Untold Story. Anyway, I did see that because it was his last movie, and then for the last portion of the movie, I believe he shot the first half.
Yeah, then they had like 4 other people. The Imaginarium of Dr. Panarsis.
Yeah, which not my cup of tea.
It wasn't supposed to be his last.
No, yeah, it would have just been one nobody remembers.
Yeah, but instead that's what it is.
Or very few remember. I think they used like Jude Law, Johnny Depp and maybe Colin Farrell.
I thought there was a lady in there as well, but I can't remember. Maybe that's
Cate
something else.
Blanchett.
Well,
no, I'm thinking something else with Cate Blanchett.
Well, let us know if there's any other fun facts we're missing out there. Again, this is a Christopher Nolan movie with big actors, but also go back and see Batman Begins and check out some of those fun facts. But we're going to move it on to questions,
comments, and
animosities.
Questions, comments, animosity.
QCA. First off, I just do love the openings of this movie, especially the next two movies, this one and the follow-up. But just a fun bank heist, nice introduction to our villain.
Yeah, I thought about this and I didn't go into super great detail, but it is one of the most exciting openings in modern day. You know, it starts with the bank heist. It sort of reminds me of, even though we're getting introduced to the villain, in a similar way we get introduced to Indiana Jones in, in the action. It's happening. This is your character. So even though this is a Batman movie,
and a bad guy,
like
but yeah, I get that.
It feels like it's the Joker movie a little bit, right?
Yeah, kind of.
It's such a cool way to get introduced to him.
Well, I think maybe even especially after, his passing, one, it was just a great performance, but it is very centric on his character. And I wonder if it would have been so much beforehand or if it got pushed that way a little more post,
Well, I feel like he died shortly before it came out, but they had to probably have it quite
Most
edited
of it,
and
yeah.
finished it by then. Do you remember this? Do you remember this though? When announced that it was going to be him, and when they showed the first just his face with a black dark background, people were like, "I don't think that this is good casting." I'm pretty concerned that this won't work.
Yeah, people were not
that?
feeling it initially, and they were talking of recasting, not seriously like the film, but the public. But how wrong they were.
Yeah, everybody's like, there's no way that anybody can redo Jack Nicholson's role. And, no shade to him. It got completely outdone.
Yeah, well, totally different.
It's nobody's fault, but...
there is one animosity I have to say with the openings, and it's really any of the exposition, and it's usually the villain's dialogue to catch us up to speed, but I heard he can fly. Have you heard about the Joker? When we get it's just bad writing, kind of. It's cheesy delivery.
That's an animosity that people have in large part with Christopher Nolan as a screenwriter in general, that he has large expedition. Just pretty much telling us exactly what we need to know. I'm fine with it. I don't give a shit. He does a lot of other cool stuff. It doesn't throw me off. I'll tell you what I have an animosity about with the characters. Hey, dipshits, if you're all told to kill everybody, maybe you should
put two and two together.
Not get killed.
Yeah.
Nobody at all. One guy slowly put it together, but...
I guess, it's they're dumb, I guess. So they're dumb brutes, and it is kind of how the cartoon sounded with those thug characters, but it's just cheesy. It's just cheesy delivery, and I hate it. Those moments.
To me, there are some things that you just have to let go in this movie. Is it the best story and plot line for every character? No, but is it still an awesome movie? Yeah. And sometimes shitty dialogue happens. Yeah,
that's true. You have to overlook it. But past that, it's great. It's just really the opening when we're kind of setting it up again. It's just a little shitty. Question, we did ask this in the last movie. What's up with the Narrows? It's been about 9 months, supposedly, and I don't think they really mention it at all, other than saying it's been 9 months since the Narrows was destroyed.
I can tell you what, we didn't go back to it this one. They're like, yeah, it'll work itself out. We didn't see any Narrows.
It must be ungodly there. People just running around mad.
And I know that Gordon got a promotion sometime in this movie, but I'm pretty sure he lived in the Narrows, right?
Possibly.
Just a tough commute? He lived in what looked like the slums.
Looked pretty dirty, yeah. It didn't look great over there, but, I don't know if he was there.
Oh, just one quick shout out to the beginning of the movie. I love William Fichtner. He's the bank manager. He really adds a lot. Just if you can get talent like that in such a small role, it's going to add to your film, and that's just proof that it does.
True. And it was the same with the last one that we were saying. It's just such a star-studded cast for every character that, it delivers.
So how much do you want to talk about how good Heath Ledger is?
As much as you want to. I just had a comment saying Heath Ledger's great in this.
I think what's so good about it is, and I thought about this, is he could have ruined the movie, right?
Yeah.
He went so hard in the paint and committed to his portrayal of the character, but it completely made the movie.
Oh, 100%.
I think if you take him out of it and you really look at the story, it gets a little muddled in a lot of places, but it's all forgiven because of his character, to me at least.
No, I 100% agree. And he's funny at times in it. Like there are generally scary parts, like his ransom videos. Which, question about that, how much can the news stations show? I feel like they shouldn't be showing those ransom videos.
Seems like Gotham's like, whatever, let it rip.
You guys have seen worse. You've
seen worse. Have you been to the Narrows?
It's crazy down there.
It's a bad place. I don't know. To me, the question is always, when do you move from Gotham? When do you hit the suburbs? Maybe try a new city.
We got past the one mob boss and one supervillain, and we did lose a section of the city, but I think maybe I either leave there, but during those 9 months, as soon as there's a new villain on the scene and the Joker's leaving videos, I'm like, I'm out. This isn't going to end.
Yeah, but you brought it up earlier. I mean, Scarecrow's just bouncing around still, and I don't even know. It seems like he gets caught again and again and just gets released by whoever the new supervillain is. He's like, and I'm fucking back in the game.
I'm out again. Yeah. Well, I mean, it seems like he's just selling drugs at the beginning. He's not doing anything too heinous at this point. He's just like a middleman. He's just a drug runner now.
It seems like he was just selling that smoke at the beginning.
Yeah, that's all he's about.
And then he's like, that's not Batman. He's like, oh, there he is. I know that guy.
I've been locked up 6 times since then.
I don't think there's an answer to it, but based off of to piggyback off of your what's going on in the Narrows, if you didn't get the cure to that, is your mind just lost forever?
I would believe so. I would assume that after 3 days of not getting cured, your mind remember when Rachel got a high dose and she was maybe gonna go insane? I'd assume a good amount of those people are lost. Yeah. And I still say that's probably why Gotham has so many crazy villains.
Yeah. Bummer. Get out of the Narrows. I don't know what to say to you. I don't know. What do you think ever happened to that horse that he was riding? That he rode away and was like,
also mad. Do you think they had a horse cure ready? No, Jordan. They didn't even think about those. That horse had to be it's Clue. It's Clue now. It had to be put down.
Can I give you, still at the beginning of the movie, it's our introduction to Harvey Dent,
yeah,
which is a pretty big scene too. I actually really don't like that you should have bought an American gun, essentially. I hate that line maybe more than any line in the movie.
Again, some of the early movie dialogue is bad. And most of the acting is great, but some of it is cheesy.
Yeah, the dialogue's a little clunky, but you could say the same with really good movie. Terminator 2 is awful dialogue. In fact, all of James Cameron's writing is very clunky, but sometimes, you're not a dialogue person and that's fine. You make up for it in other places.
Hire a dialogue person. Have someone bump it up a bit.
To me, it's like a superhero movie, so I Let It Go really doesn't lean on me that much.
It's for kids. I mean,
so I thought about this. This is a question I had. So this has got to be a PG-13 movie.
Mm-hmm.
The Joker, the newer version with Joaquin Phoenix, is rated R. Could you see, or would you want to see a rated R Batman movie? Or would it just be too much? This has got to be close to it.
Yeah, I mean, essentially we get things like that with the new Suicide Squad and with Deadpool. But, I mean, his whole thing is he doesn't...
But those really become R based off of the language. I mean, the violence pretty much stays the same. The
new Suicide Squad got pretty gory, and it was graphic, and that's why it also got rated up. But, I mean, Batman also just doesn't kill, so it doesn't really meet his ethos. So, ethos. So, there'd be no reason to be that hard unless he just said fuck a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
Robin, get your fucking ass over here. Which might be funny. I don't know.
It'd be funny if Bruce doesn't swear, but Batman swears real hard. Fucking look at me.
I do have an animosity. Okay, so Bruce is sneaking around to investigate this company with Fox, and he's crashing a date to meet Dent. He knows these people, and they know he's Batman, and they trust him. Just tell him. Just set
up. Wait, I'm confused. Who knows who's Batman?
Okay, so Fox and Rachel know Bruce is Batman. He wants to infiltrate that company, so he's being weird at the beginning with Fox and setting up meetings. And same with Rachel. He just crashes their dinner date to kind of get to know Harvey. But he knows these people and they trust him. Just ask for a meetup and be like, hey, Fox, here's what's going on. Wouldn't it be better just to include these people in what he's doing to make it go smoother?
Oh, so Fox is obviously in on him being Batman.
Yeah.
That's just 100%. I've actually thought about this. So in the Batmans from when we were kids with the Alfred you like, we took that character in the Nolan ones and we split him into
two people,
the nurture and Alfred, which is Michael Caine. But then like the logistical like operations Alfred, that's just Fox's character, which I kind of like. I kind of like that they split it up. I didn't think about that before I started rewatching for it. Obviously, whatever's going on between him and Rachel is like some emotional. He wants to one up and put.
That's true. He is still just trying to belittle of the guy.
You forget Cameron. He's not just a crazy billionaire.
No, he is
vigilante. He's also just a spoiled rich kid that lost his parents and he's like, I want my girl back. You know.
I got
like fuck you, Harvey Dent.
But super lucky that he has a nice Mr. Fox to like invent his gadgets, take care of his company, and be super cool. You know, you really can't be Batman without him.
Oh no, yeah. I mean. You
in fact, if they didn't have that research development department, like he just couldn't be Batman.
Yeah, no, he would just be.
We do telecommunications, sir. I don't know what you want from me.
It is weird though. I think a lot of huge companies have a lot of military contracts, so that kind of checks. It's very, 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 very convenient that Wayne Enterprise has all these superhero outfits just laying around at corporate headquarters. It's not even in some like weird like offshoot.
No, it's just in the main building downtown.
It's just down in the basement. Go check it out. It's all there.
And again, this one is very realistic, and it was a lot of practical effects. I mean, famously flipping the semi on Lake Street or Wacker, I can't remember. But I
think
will
it
say
goes on to Wacker.
The skyhook is a believable idea, but I'm pretty sure a plane yanking you out of a building would just break your neck with whiplash. I mean, it's not gonna feel good.
Wait, which part are you talking about?
When Batman goes to get Lee out of
I got you. Yeah, I actually have a real big question of that.
Mm-hmm. It's a cool scene. The whole heist is sweet, but
love the sequence. I love the ruse for the that he goes with the Russian ballet, but I don't get why he gets so many people involved in his lies. He's a billionaire. He can just go somewhere if he wants to.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I don't think you need a huge cover story, like especially if you're already doing business with this company. Like you can just be on the go. I guess he just needed to charter that plane specifically, but just charter that plane specifically.
Well, where did they pick him up in? How long was, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm a little confused about that as well. But again, I think that might break your neck. I don't think you can do that. And then the second thing would also be just the Batmobile just actually being pieces or the Bat bike being pieces of the Batmobile. I don't think functionally it could detach that well, but it's cool. It's cool. It's a cool concept.
No. Also, think about the conversation he had to have with Fox. It's like, hey, you got another one of those cars?
And also, most importantly, it's like, hey, I had some ideas about this car that's not in development and no one's helping with it all. I want it to deconstruct like a transformer.
How do you feel about the motorcycle? I'm neither for nor against it. I'm
terrified that cape's going to get caught in there and it's going to yank me.
Oh, yeah, I think that the whole time.
He's just dancing with choking.
We've all seen The Incredibles. You don't make a cape with a superhero.
No, especially when you have that type of situation going on all the time. No, that's risky.
I do have an animosity with Batman / Bruce Wayne's motorcycle choices.
Okay.
I don't like that he goes into the subway and the convention center or whatever with all those people.
Wait.
When he goes into he drives through a tile
yeah.
there.
I mean, same with the first movie. He causes a lot of damage and doesn't make the safest choices. Again, as you said though, these are the choices of a billionaire. And even Alfred's like, "Hey, you kind of blew up a lot." And he's like, "It was Rachel, Alfred. She's downstairs. I roofied her."
Yeah.
And
hey, you still got my anti-roofie pills? Do you still got that?
Yeah.
Where'd I put that?
Yeah. Okay. Also, I would really like to talk about this question. How is Bruce getting a fingerprint from a bullet?
Oh, yeah, I definitely have that. I've never gotten what they're doing. And I don't get why they're shooting 6 rounds to find the fingerprint.
No, so it seems like he's recreating the bullet to be able to lift the image of the fingerprint, but he already has the brick.
How did he recreate the bullet?
That's what I don't get either. What was the point of reshooting all those bricks with different ammo? I just don't get it. It looks very scientific.
Does it? I don't know what that always confused me. I'm like, hey, cool, good for you, way to go. I have no idea what happened, still don't. Rewatched it, for this this podcast. I don't know what happens. If you're out there, let us know, because it still doesn't make sense. It seems unnecessary, but
I think just showing us that, he has gadgets, he has science. See, that's that aspect of our version of Batman. But don't ask us what he's doing.
Yeah, at that point, and there's a lot of points within the movie where Alfred's like, this isn't good. This isn't good what we're doing here. This is all bad stuff. I don't like this guy.
I mean, it continues into the third movie, though. Like when he's like, I really wish you'd quit. I dream that you would quit.
Yeah, you really, really scare me, and I live with you in this manner, and I don't like it. But that's where you got to tell us some people just like to watch the world burn, so that was fun.
Yeah, that's a good speech. That's true. I have an animosity. Gordon couldn't let his wife know at least that he's alive or get some word to him. I get he's trying to protect them, but how many days was he gone before he just showed up at the doorstep? What would he do if he's just there and like an officer friend's banging his wife and he's like, I thought you were gone?
They had a funeral for him, right?
I believe so.
So
maybe not.
Probably did the paperwork that
he's at the mayor. He's at like the mayor's funeral or the commissioner's funeral when he gets shot.
But they had to declare him dead, right?
Yeah, it was at least a day.
Hey, it's easy for like billionaire playboy Bruce Wayne to come back from the dead, but $100K a year tops, not even Commissioner Gordon yet. It's gonna be a lot harder to do that paperwork.
Yeah, well,
not as many people helping you out.
Jordan, the department's already dirty though. You're assuming they even did any paperwork they might have just said like he's dead, not filed anything.
It's confusing how openly and widespread the corruption is, that everybody everywhere. No, but they're all like, I can't trust anybody. Nobody can trust anybody. I can't trust you. I can't trust you. Batman only trusts Gordon, and Gordon trusts nobody. He's like, what do you want me to do? Work with nobody? Of course I'm going to go with these bad guys. They're my coworkers. I don't know why they put... I know why Bruce wants Harvey Dent to be the hero, but I don't know why they put such wild trust in him, because as depicted, he just seems like a politician to me.
Yeah, he doesn't
seem like this, but he doesn't even seem super virtuous in reality, like in what they show me. He just seems like a high achieving, climbing politician.
Yeah,
type.
like even an early example of that is like he wastes a bunch of time to so after the commissioner's dead and there's those gunshots and he takes that crazy person hostage in the ambulance. He wastes hours driving that guy to a secluded place to warn Rachel, you're next. This is the moment where you're probably going to be taken. Like, why wouldn't you just do that first? That's a psychotic decision.
Yeah, I suppose they're nodding to us that, underneath the surface, he can be corrupt and goes super corrupt.
Yeah, like pretty fast. Like, in fact, this is jumping to the end, but like, why is he going after Gordon so hard? Like, I guess that he was just in on some of the plans, but like you're the guy that turned yourself in and made yourself a giant target. Like no one made you do that.
Yeah, but at that point we're at the feeling fine portion of the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's kind of cut the thread. He's not
like he doesn't even kill Ramirez, and she's maybe the guiltiest one in the party.
He does hit her, and that was for him. He really wanted to hit her. I did notice in this viewing that after they put after Harvey's in the armored car and they realize, oh, Batman's back, he's safe, Gordon's alive. Once I noticed Ramirez really lingers. They linger on Ramirez a little bit after she puts Dent in the back of the car. That obviously takes him to the...
Yeah, they do a little obvious foreshadowing in retrospect that you can kind of see.
I never noticed it, though.
No, not in the time, but viewing back, you can.
I like a long movie, but you could cut some stuff out of this. As good as it is, there's stuff you could cut out. I don't know where.
I agree, and I think the next one's longer, so this will not be a comment that you hear once.
I want to go back to some of the things I really like about the Joker, or about
Heath Ledger's performance.
Yeah, his voice nailed it.
Yeah, it's creepy, it's funny.
It's super funny, but there's two distinct things I like, and this isn't big to the character, but it's after he makes his proposals to the mob people. It's like, hey, that guy's going to squeal. Batman's going to get him. If you want to deal with somebody, deal with me. And then when they're like, do you just expect us to give you all our money? He's like, yeah. I don't know why the mob deals with the Joker, though. Somebody should have just killed him. I don't get it at all.
The moment he does the pencil trick and kills one of your guys, who you assume if he's at that table, is higher up, you're just going to shoot that guy. He's insane.
Yeah, but on top of that, even, Jesus, I don't even know what character it is anymore. It's not Falcone, but there's a portion where Moretti comes up. Where Maroni comes up later to Gordon, he's like, hey, this is enough of this. Somebody's got to take care of this Joker. It's like, you guys have been in the room. Just shoot him. Just kill him. What?
Yeah, you've had a bunch of opportunity. You have his contact. You can get him in a room. Tell Gordon to meet him at this place and just shoot him. Easy peasy.
Yeah, it's so confusing that it gets that far. Like, Batman should kill him. I know he's got his moral code. Somebody should have killed him. He's out and about.
Yeah.
With such a corrupt police force, somebody should have killed him in there. Somebody should have fucking killed him.
I have an animosity. This is when they capture the Joker later, but you can't throw him in a holding cell with a bunch of people. And also, nobody did a pat down on that crazy guy with that lump in his stomach to see if there was a bomb in him. That's a huge miss.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of his plans could have easily turned sideways. And there's several times, like even the beginning of the movie, where he could have just gotten shot, and then that's the end of the movie. Like he does say in the movie, "I don't really have a plan," and it does kind of feel like that sometimes. That he's just lucky chaos.
No, I agree with that, but they all come to fruition. They really all come together.
They really do. They always come together, except for the boat thing.
Yeah, the most ridiculous one is probably the holding cell. A million things had to go right there for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy getting into it. Yeah, they should have seen that there was a contusion or whatever. But the real animosity there is how he gets out of the holding cell. Why would anybody be in there with him? You're in a padded, locked room.
Yeah.
They have that one cop just standing on the inside, monitor from the outside. I don't even get this.
Yeah, or it doesn't make any sense.
You want to know a sneaky? Even though it's an iconic shot when he's sitting in the middle of the cell, just like looking at straight, kind of Norman Batesy a little bit, if you will. I would have made him take off his makeup. I'd be like, hey, wash that fucking makeup off.
We're going to wash that off your
wear
face.
Makeup here. Yeah, here, go wash that off. We're going to watch you. Should we get to the biggest animosity I think everybody has?
What's that?
Charitable donation scene. The campaigning scene for Harvey Dent.
Okay.
Great scene. Everybody likes it. I like the how'd I get these scars. Everybody likes those stories.
I like that it changes each time.
Yeah, what a wacky guy that guy is. What a joker. Anyway, but I don't like Batman falls from like the 20th story and lands on a car and everybody's fine with him and Rachel.
Yeah.
That's the biggest animosity of the movie. I don't get that at all.
It's just spelunking or like combat armor. Like it still would take an impact. Also, like... I get that he really cares about Rachel, but he couldn't have, like, while going past the Joker, pushed him to, or, like, tied him up to, or, like, anything to while he's jumping.
Or shoot one of those ropes that pull everybody up from the ankle that he has all the time.
That's what I'm saying. That's your move. Like, you didn't do that then while you're going by him. Easy peasy. This movie could have been solved early on.
So that's twofold, though. Also, at the end of that, we never get resolved what happens up there. Did Joker kill a bunch of people? Did he just take the elevator back down?
Just took the elevator down.
He's like, well, Batman's gone. I don't want to be here anymore.
Person. Question to you. You're on the passenger boat. Do you try to at least make a petition to blow up that prisoner boat?
Would have blown him up immediately. Here's how my movie would have happened. And this is, I think, what Joker wanted. It would have been 2 simultaneous
explosions. Or, like, at least while the Joker's explaining it, like, one's already blowing up. But, I mean, you would assume since there's cops on both, or, like, military on both boats, that, like, they wouldn't allow any sort of democratic, voting, or they would just get it upstairs immediately. Because you would assume a prisoner boat, that'd be overpowered, and they'd blow it pretty quick.
My guess is the prisoner boat, if it was more realistic, would have broken out to a riot real quick.
I also assume, I guess, they would have been, like, tied up, or maybe they can't be chained on a boat or something. I don't know rules.
I bet they could be cuffed anyway, right? They're prisoners.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess you would need them to be.
I don't know how fragile the activation, the bomb thing is that you can push, right?
Oh, I could easily see that just also not working. Like, it looks pretty flimsy.
Oh, I was gonna say when the prisoner throws it out the window, I'm like, Jesus, bud, like
that might actually
be a little more careful with that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the way we should go about it. Just take the key out. Throw the key.
Yeah, just take the key out. Would have been a happy accident for him, though, if it like he threw it out and then all of a sudden you heard boom. And it's like, oh, shit.
Hey, their boat erupts into applause. I get that the whole Big Brother spying from everybody's phone isn't good, and that's why, Fox wants to step away. But that's a pretty handy tool for Batman to have throughout the city of Gotham.
I could tell you this much. If that was the R-rated version, you would see a lot more things going on.
That's true.
Screens. That's all I was thinking. I'll be honest, that confused me a little bit too.
We're taking echolocation sound from everybody's phone to map.
No. I understood what they told me. I took the words and I put them in my brain. I'm like, how's that? How'd you find Joker? How many cell phones are up in that with the goons and all him? Joker probably, if anything, has a flip phone, right? He doesn't have a smartphone.
I mean, I guess essentially be like going through a video game and just flying through the map looking at every character till he found him. Okay, at the end when Batman's going through the high rise and he's taking out the SWAT team and trying to protect like the hostages are the gunmen and vice versa. How hard is it for Batman to send that signal to police radios quickly, or to Gordon, who's his main man, being like, hey, it's a switcheroo. Go for like the gun or like the hostages. And also, as a cop, I get that it's hard to be on Batman's side when there's a good chance he'll beat the shit out of me too, or hit me with his car if I'm just in his way or just like not privy to his plan. He beats the shit out of that whole SWAT team. He runs over a bunch of cops in the first movie.
Oh, yeah, and a lot's going on. He's relying on the fact that this is probably going to work.
Yeah.
They're all probably they're not going to fall 40 feet to their death.
Yeah, that was super lucky.
I do like how this is a complete, it's primarily set all in the city. Mm-hmm. It feels so much more.
Chicago.
Well, not only Chicago, but just realistic than the last one. With all the practical effects, but I mean,
we don't have any big overshots of the city as well with that CGI. So like, just there are no like need for any of those visual effects in this one,
No, but if you remember, Wayne Manor the Wayne building in the first one was complete CGI, and that train system looked futuristic and not modern. Right. I like that it was much more practical. But to that point, I have a question for you, and this is like not an animosity because it doesn't ruin the movie for me, but with all these great practical effects, how do you feel about the depiction of Two-Face? Quite obviously being CGI. Are you with it?
I thought about that too, but from Christopher Nolan's explanation essentially was he didn't want to have a bunch of prosthetics that would clearly make the face bulge out like it had in the past, and he wanted to go for a more realistic depiction. At the time, it looked better when it came out, but I don't know, it's obviously going to age worse. But I like that it's more, maybe if it was just like, they could have just done facial burns without it like being like pieces of his face missing. I would have liked a
practical effect.
Yeah.
I would have liked a practical effect, especially since that's like his calling card. But I get it. Whatever.
No, I think I agree with you though. If they just would have done like burn makeup, it didn't even have to be like super extreme, but if like half his face is red kind of thing, that could have been enough if we're keeping it grounded.
It's not a Mount Rushmore, and don't get me wrong, his face was half gone. He was going through a lot of emotional distress. But do you think that the only character that went from good to bad more quickly was Anakin Skywalker to Darth Vader?
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. like there wasn't much holding their White Knight together, it seems. Like he wasn't going to be their White Knight much longer. A couple months in, that guy's getting corrupted.
Yeah. It would have ended, maybe not if it's scandal, but he was corruptible because he's a man, just like anybody's corruptible. I mean,
he's not a symbol.
Corruptible as well. No, he's not. I will be honest. I am confused by the end why he has to go into hiding.
That is my biggest
Yeah, I don't get it because him and Gordon and everybody, the establishment knows. Why don't they just say what happened?
That is my biggest animosity. So they don't want to besmirch his name so that they can still keep his legacy going, Harvey Dent's. But I don't understand why they can't. So essentially they're like, he killed a few cops and we can't sweep that under the rug. But if you're already going to lie and say Batman did it, why don't you just say that
just blame it on the
Joker did it?
It's so easy. It doesn't even make any fucking sense.
Yeah, they were informants of the Joker. They were loose ends. The Joker's men killed them kind of vibe. You could just lie and say that, still have Batman. And then you could even say, like, if you're not trying to bring down Harvey Dent's name, just say he succumbed from his burn injuries. He died because of his significant half-missing face.
Well, think about all these lies you could use. He blew up in the hospital.
Yeah,
Explosions.
we didn't get him out.
Easy peasy. The Joker killed him. Boom. We've got.
We don't want to give him a
there.
win, so I get why we might ignore that, but even so, it could work.
One of the corrupt police force killed him. Boom. Whatever. Why blame Batman?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Batman killed him, or you could also say he died while Batman tried to save him.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, or just like closer to the warehouse explosion. Like it was a trap. Batman only saved one person. Oh, Batman couldn't save any of them. Okay, but still, there are options in there. Yeah, there's more wiggle room than they gave us.
I get it. It's a cool line.
What, the Dark Knight thing at the end? He's not the hero we need.
Yeah, I really enjoy that. Everybody does, but it also just doesn't make sense where we're going.
Yeah, it is confusing. Seems like probably a lot of crime. I mean, we'll get to it in the next movie, obviously, but seems like they could have used a Batman still. Harvey Dent at the end, when he shoots Batman before trying to kill Gordon's family, you gotta know to try at least to shoot Batman in the face. It's the only part of him that's exposed. Why would you shoot him in his armor-plating stomach? Like, you gotta know that's not gonna do anything. That's all, though.
In his defense, his face is half burnt off.
Yeah. He's in an agonizing pain and not taking any meds for it.
You want to know sneaky animosity? Sure, your face is whatever, and I don't believe that you can live through that, but whatever.
Mm.
How'd you get your suit back?
Yeah, I thought about that too. I mean, especially because the hospital blows up, and I don't think all that stuff would be like in his room, so he would have had to go.
The suit would already be gone.
Yeah, you'd assume they'd get rid of it. Maybe it's evidence, but it's definitely not easily obtainable before that hospital blows up. Also, I did think about this when they said the line that he's in like excruciating pain. He's not taking meds. If just the rest of the movie was him, just screaming.
I'm very bad. I mean, I don't know how he got after. I guess he's just gone crazy.
He's just mad, just going on with madness.
He could have ended it right there. Joker was prepared to get shot in the face.
Yeah, probably would have just ended his tirade there too if he could. Might still get Ramirez, but.
I mean, there's so many nuances of his role.
Then he'd be here, be like, "Oh, before the hospital blew up,
I killed Joker.
I killed him. I shot him.
Shot him in the face, and then we blew up together."
Yeah, no one would even know. I mean, overall, this is obviously a great movie. It's why we're doing the franchise. This one in particular, Heath Ledger's performance is good in it. Everybody, let us know if there's anything we missed in this category or you specifically like. Make sure to hit us up on social media. But we're going to move it on to recasting. Recasting. All right, we're going to try not to repeat things from last week. If you're interested, though, again, go back, listen to Batman Begins. Let's start off with Fox. Last week, I did Lawrence Fishburne. This week, I'm going to do Danny Glover.
Wouldn't have even thought about that. But yeah, nice. That works.
I don't know. He's kind of, he has a gentle voice.
Support, yeah. he's got a
soft voice. Whispery.
It is soft, yeah. I did kind of a layup as well. Not as well, but I think I was trying to not do it the whole time, but I ended up doing Samuel L. Jackson.
I thought about it. I might have done, I did Lawrence Fishburne last week. I thought about him. Really, it's next week. I'm kind of running out, and some of those are going to be. I'm going to have some wild cards next week, I think.
I got wild cards this week, I think.
Nice. Let's move on to Gordon. I like mine. He does move on to play the Joker, but Joaquin Phoenix as the commissioner, or lieutenant.
Oh, that's not bad. I didn't think about him at all.
Right?
He could definitely do it.
Yeah, he has the chops. I think he'd be great.
I've got a weird one. Yeah, I think he'd be good.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird though, just to talk about Joker. I guess we'll get there in a second, so I won't talk about it now. I went kind of a looks like, surprise, surprise. But I wanted to get him in here somewhere, and I don't know if I nailed it, but Sam Rockwell.
Oh, yeah, I actually had him down as an option. I don't know about... Yeah, because last week I believe I had Edward Norton, and it's the same kind of like small framed... I don't want to say Weasley because I like them both, but
Well, what I like about Sam Rockwell is he plays frazzled and burnt out pretty well. And doesn't that feel kind of what the Gordon role is?
Yeah, I like that.
Up against it.
I like that.
The only thing is, and I'm for it, let him rip and add some more humor to the character. I don't know if these movies.
There is humor in it. I mean, even the Joker himself's kind of funny, so it wouldn't be misplaced having a little more in there.
Oh, when I was thinking about Sam Rockwell, Beetlejuice. Didn't say it then if I did or if I didn't, but he'd be a great Beetlejuice.
Oh, that actually is. I think you might have, but that is a great Beetlejuice.
Nice. All right, what's next?
Let's move it on to Rachel. Last week I did Emily Blunt. We can kind of riff on this one because she disappears after this movie. But Charlize Theron.
Oh, I don't mind that.
I mean, I don't think their recasting necessarily looked overly alike. I don't think Maggie Gyllenhaal and Katie Holmes are too similar, so I feel like it could kind of go anywhere. But let's also say you can just go off the rails on this one. Doesn't have to be from like a Katie Holmes type.
I don't know what happened, why they recast him. I don't remember if there was creative differences or...
I think it was just when she was having turmoil with Tom Cruise, and she left to do another movie with that I can't remember. I did have it written down somewhere, but I think she just made another choice, then took a break from acting after it.
I did Rachel McAdams.
Oh, I had Amy Adams. I could see, yeah, that works as an option. Rachel McAdams makes sense. The main option I was gonna maybe go with today was Zoe Saldana. I don't know.
I thought of her, but spoiler alert, I'm going to use her next week.
Oh, well, look forward to that.
For someone else. I wonder who it's going to be.
Well, she's not in the next week. She's gone. She's talked about.
Nope. But Zoe Saldana's going to be in it.
Okay, cool.
For what it's worth, I know I may have said this. I like Maggie Gyllenhaal, and I know that some people, she rubs the wrong way. I think she does well in the role, and I think she does fine.
Yeah, she's fine. I don't dislike her. I just don't find her overly like leading actress attractive in a lot of like romantic roles.
Sure, but this isn't like a leading role. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a very supportive. I mean, she's
lead love interest.
I suppose.
I suppose.
Okay, I get you.
Let's do Harvey Dent and the Joker since those ones will be disappearing. We can riff on them. Let's start with Harvey Dent. I gotta say my main man, and for once I feel like you can back me on this, John Hamm.
So I did think about that in preparation, but I'm like, I actually think John Hamm would be really good one. Politician like square jaw similarities.
Better
right?
actor possibly than Eric Eckhart as well. So I think it would be an improvement.
I think they're kind of similar.
Yeah, they are. They're super similar, but I think he's better.
Like I think there's some similar. I don't think Aaron Eckhart's like.
I don't think he's
like
bad
a
actor.
No. Mine is a looks like but never got his chance.
Mm-hmm.
Doing Scott Bakula, baby.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And I know that that's not even good, but I'm saying it. I wrote it down and I'm not going back.
You know, I'll put him somewhere less minor, like he's the mayor of Gotham or something, you know? He's just, I'm defeated Mayor Scott Bakula. Hey, things aren't going good here.
He could have.
Oh boy.
He could have done just as well as Aaron Eckhart.
True. Okay. I also had, what do you think about this? These two I think would be major step up. Matt Damon.
So I contemplated Matt Damon a lot of places, and I think he could have played so many roles. But what I think doesn't work is he's too recognizable. And I think that's the reason Ben Affleck, as a star, Ben Affleck didn't work to me as Batman. You're like, it's Ben Affleck.
Okay, then you might not like my
Clooney.
Josh Brolin then. What do you think about him?
No, Josh Brolin's fine. I don't think he's the same star level.
Okay. I think Matt Damon could do great as like a kind of a Weasley lawyerish, like DA, virtuous kind of seeming guy who turns. I think he does.
I mean,
great,
I think there's many instances in it that he would do great in it. Go to the Adjustment Bureau, that character, and then you mix it with The Departed, his prickish character. There you go.
Yeah, that's essentially what I'm saying.
He would do it well. I just think that he would jump off the screen as Matt Damon in this movie, and I don't know why that is.
No, I get it. To the star power of it.
So I got I'll do my Alfred because I like it. It's Billy Connolly, baby.
Oh.
Let it rip. Yeah. I actually think that one's good.
Yeah, I like that.
It'd be a little more cheeky, but that's what we want from Alfred in this role, right?
Just trying to get someone I don't do all the time.
I've nailed 2 Alfreds.
Not bad. Last week I had Anthony Hopkins. This week I'm doing Donald Sutherland. He sometimes seems a little too harsh, but I feel like he does have a gentle side of his voice that could be.
I think people have seen him depicted as a villain a lot more, but when he was younger, he played a lot of different roles. I think that could work. I think people would have a tough time now differentiating.
Yeah, I get that. And not my best, but again...
Same with Anthony Hopkins. You're really picking guys that play villains.
I don't know, man. It's hard for me. All right, with that, let's move it on to the Joker. I'm just going to throw away my big one right away and say Leonardo DiCaprio. If I remember, there were rumors at the time that he was up for the role, and I know people kind of wanted him casted in it, but It'd be different. It'd be a different take on it.
It's hard to say. He could do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It just would be different. And we've never seen him play a full-fledged character like that. I suppose the closest is probably Django Unchained, right?
Yeah.
He's normally the leading man, so does he have the range to do support like that? I don't know.
Yeah,
it would be different.
So.
I think he could pull it off. For the reason, and I was going to say this when we brought up Joaquin Phoenix, it's weird how the Joker became this actor's role, like such a great character to play. I don't know if I necessarily like every movie he's done, but for that reason, I would like to see what Daniel Day-Lewis does with it.
Okay.
Just full commitment into however he portrays the Joker.
Do you want it like the Joker style, or do you want it like this style with the Daniel Day-Lewis?
This style. Okay. I want to see him in this. The only thing is I've never seen him be that funny.
True.
Or play humorous. So I think it might just be too dark.
It's going to be very dark. Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be very dark.
It'll be committed and over the top. I guess There Will Be Blood is a pretty loud character. And then obviously Gangs of New York, Bill the Butcher is over the top. Mm-hmm. So let it rip. And then here's my what if. Mm-hmm. I just think Philip Seymour Hoffman could do about anything.
That was maybe who I was going to lead off with. I think it would be, we say him a lot. We do give him a lot of cred, but he was a great actor and he could play this funny and very dark. It'd be, I think, a very realistic, good portrayal, much like Heath Ledger.
I almost would have liked him. I really would have liked to see him. And it'd be funny to see a chubby Joker.
I'm also going to say another guy we say all the time, but Michael Shannon. He was the villain in Man of Steel. I don't know. I think he's just a good actor. I don't think it'd be I don't know. I don't know if it'd go far enough. I mean,
it'd be interesting. He's sneaky, a little off, funny too.
Yeah, that's true. He was Goose in Pearl Harbor. He was pretty funny in that.
Oh yeah, that was a long time ago. Yep.
Yeah, so he has different aspects of him. With that, let's move it on to Bruce Wayne. Last week, I kind of blew my big one with Ethan Hawke, and Mark took my number 2, which was going to be Adam Driver.
The Adam Driver one I never thought of, and I like that. I actually think he could probably play a pretty good Joker as well.
Yeah, I see him as a better Bruce for some reason. I'm going to go, this is maybe kind of weird, and I don't know if it's going to be a star power thing, I think, again with you, but Ryan Gosling.
It's what I wrote down, but I also teamed it up with Rachel McAdams.
Okay. Yeah, well then, if we're both doing the same thing, I love it.
I definitely think he could do that. Yeah, he's a big star, but like you said, Bruce is like, his origin story compared to some other superheroes is, I guess, complex because his parents got killed.
I mean, everyone's parents get killed.
There's not much within the scenes. It's looking like Batman and it's looking like a billionaire.
Yeah.
Could he do that? Yeah, of course.
And again, I don't think the writing's crazy good in these. I think it's something that he could handle delivering.
Yeah, I think he could easily play Batman. And I don't know if he was on the short list, with 1 million people. I'm excited for my Batman / Bruce Wayne next week, guys.
I'm going to have to update this because I did a few, but I'm going to definitely need maybe some better options. We, of course, have to end it here because we have one more movie to go, Dark Knight Rises, to recast some of these characters. Let us know what you thought of our recasting, who you might want to see in this movie. But we're going to move it on to Mount Rushmore, top 4.
Mount Rushmore, top 4.
Mount Rushmore, top 4. This week, we're doing best movie openers. It doesn't specifically have to be action movies, but mine does kind of lean that way. Jordan, we're going to start with you. What's your number 1?
I think this. I don't know in any particular order, but I thought of it going into this. I'm going Scream.
Oh, interesting. It's definitely on my list. I mean, they have the surprise of Drew Barrymore. We think she's the main character, and they kill her. But it is like now just like a famous, iconic, scary movie segment. It was parodied so many times.
And I think what's going to be common in all these ones we say is that it sets the tone for the entire movie.
Yeah.
Or maybe flips it on your script, in this case, what you thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'm starting off setting a serious tone. Saving Private Ryan, the D-Day scene.
That's a good one.
It's super action-packed. It really does set the tone for the movie.
That's a movie in of itself, essentially.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like a half an hour
sequence. It's epic.
Yeah, it's super epic. You can't go wrong with that. That's actually probably better than Scream. But
Band of Brothers has been all over my suggestions recently on, I think, Netflix. I've been thinking about diving back in. Never finished The Pacific.
I'm torn because there's so many good ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna say more iconic ones, but yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna go Inglorious Bastards. It's such a good opening scene.
I thought about that. It was on
introduces
my,
the
on my
Hans
list.
Lander character and sets the tone of the movie so well. And I know there's a million I'm gonna do in this
Honorable
this
mention.
what if, but God, that's such a good scene.
No, that's a good one. Mine's also
With such
gonna
a
be,
good character as well. That's probably one of the best villains as well.
Yeah, that's
depicted on
actually up
screen.
there. I'm gonna throw out an interesting option here. I'm actually gonna say Guardians of the Galaxy. It's the heist at the beginning, but it's where we introduce the music and it's a dance sequence with him. But it kind of sets the tone that it's going to be more of a humorous thing.
I truly don't remember it enough to back it up. I know I've seen the movie, but it has been a while, so I'd have to read on that.
That's fair. It's when he's like trying to steal something and then he starts his.
I think
Discman.
I get it. It like sets his character up, and I remember the dancing stuff, but it's been a bit since I've seen that movie. to
That's
be
fair.
honest.
Well, with that, we have our honorable mentions. What else you got on the top of your head?
So this was almost gonna make mine, and I really contemplated it, but Raiders of the Lost Ark, introduction to Indiana Jones. I mean, I should have put that in all honesty.
It was on my list. I thought you were going to say it, which is why I was just kind of staying away from it, but it probably deserved to be on there.
It really does. Yeah. I mean, you jump into the action. You've got so many things going on there.
I'm just going to throw out generic Mission Impossibles. I mean, they all start with like a big job. I'm also going to throw out just James Bond. Specifically Casino Royale and Spectre were on a lot of lists I was looking at.
Casino Royale is the one that stands out to me because we introduce this new gritty Bond,
right,
and then have that action sequence. Mm-hmm. Jaws
is on a lot of people's lists. Yeah, I saw that one. That makes sense.
I saw this one. This isn't my own thoughts, but Lion King, and I gotta agree with it. The Circle of Life, it's iconic as shit.
It's a big song. This you might like. It's just the introduction of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I forget who the other guy is, but in The Other Guys, the two cops that die.
that is one of the funniest film jokes of all time.
Aim
is
for
the
the
movie
bushes?
that great?
Yeah,
Aim for the bushes. It just nails for me. I think that's one of the funniest ones. I saw Goodfellas shows up on a lot of lists.
Yeah,
and I agree.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Since I was a kid, I always wanted to be a gangster, and then he stabbed somebody quite a bit. The dichotomy between the two.
Go back and see this episode. I was happy to see
one last
Speed
thing.
on
This is just what one of the most iconic beginnings of all. 2001: A Space Odyssey. Mm-hmm. Is it my favorite? No, but it is. It's 2001:
Just
Space
don't get what
Odyssey.
the baby means at the end. I'm still trying to piece it together.
I don't. I'll tell you what though.
Cosmic
Out of
Baby.
all his films, it is amazing.
Yeah,
the
it's
way
beautiful
they
to look
depict-
at. Yeah, the actual film itself is crazy.
The way they depict space travel in that 2 year, I guess that's why everybody says he faked the landing on the moon.
Mm-hmm. Something I was happy to see on the list. Go back and see this movie, Speed, the elevator bomb opening to introduce our characters.
Oh, shout out! Yeah, Speed is fucking awesome. In fact, go back and listen to our Speed. Maybe we'll just redo Speed sometime for fun.
Yeah, at least go back and just watch Speed. It's a great movie. Well, with
I
that,
think it's relatively short too.
it's not the longest movie. Yeah, The Bus That Couldn't Stop. Well, with that, we're going to wrap it up for this week. Thanks for listening to our take on The Dark Knight. Make sure you check out The Dark Knight Rises for the next episode. Stay up to date. If you like what you heard, make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. Rate and review. Be sure to tell friends and family. Get the cult to grow. If you like what you heard and you want more content, make sure to hit up the entire Majestic Jam Network. I'm Not Crazy, Urban Hermit, and the Highwire Podcast. Until then, we'll check out the next one. Bye.
Bye.